Today's session is about should we buy new launch or resale in Tampines context. We'll be looking into case studies to analyze these questions. Case study number 1. Looking at the black box, we have to bring ourselves back to 2016. Would you buy resale, which is 751 per square foot, or would you buy new launch at 1084, being more expensive compared to resale price? Reviewing the black box, if you were to enter new launch, you will derive a high return of 41% as well as a 443k quantum profit compared to resale return of 295k, which is lower. Case study number 2. We have to bring ourselves back in 2013. Would you enter a new launch resale at 1014 Q Bay Residence, or would you enter a resale at 788 per square foot back in 2013? Unveiling the black box, you'll realize it has a consistent result that the new launch generated a higher return, which is 47.4% and 481k quantum profit, than the resale return, which generated 258k quantum profit and 32% return. That is lower than the new launch. We want to dive deeper into case study number 3 by bringing ourselves back in 2009. Should we buy resale Modella at 546, or should we buy new launch Double Bay at $660? That is in Simei, which is very near to Tampines, so as to provide another apple comparison. Unveiling the black box, the new launch return generated again higher return at 130% and a higher quantum profit of 856k than the resale return, which is 117% return and a lower quantum profit of 619k, based on the assumption of a 1000 square foot size. Why resale has a lower return? We ask ourselves this question, and we realize there are certain additional costs that your client need to be aware so that they'll be better served and they'll be more well informed. Resale has a higher depreciation rate as it ages based on the ballast table. Given the same 4-year period versus the BUC, we call it building under construction, when they start to build, leading to TOP or CSE, for a resale, the interest component, or we call it the interest payment, is substantially higher because the client will have to pay the full brunt of the 75% interest immediately compared to new launch, which only need to pay when the loan is being dispersed progressively. And for resale, being old also means a potential hidden cost of a renovation, which is not cheap nowadays. And they also need to start paying maintenance costs as well as property tax. This is the Bala table from the Singapore Land Authority, and this curve clearly shows steeper appreciation as the leasehold resale gets older. So it also means if you were to buy a resale, it may look cheap, but the resale risk is higher. As it gets older, the value depreciates faster. Depreciation becomes steeper as it becomes older, as the gradient becomes steeper. As a trusted advisor, we need to remind ourselves to inform the client based on this case study of a 2 million price. Interest rate for resale, yes, usually is lower at current rate of 2.6%. Buyers shouldn't forget they would have to prepare additional costs like renovation costs. In this context, we assume for 1,000 square foot size for 2 million property, one would have to prepare 150K renovation cost. The client will have to pay an immediate maintenance fee of $450 per month, and that cumulatively for 4 years is 21,000. And number three, huge interest payment. And in this context of a 2 million property, we are talking about 149,000 interest for 4 years. And last but not least, to also prepare to pay almost immediately in the next 4 years the property tax. That is for resale. How about new launch? Given the same price of a 2 million, yes, for new launch, it could be at a higher interest rate at 3.8% than the resale, which is 2.6. Nevertheless, we need to be remembered that for new launch, one save in renovation costs, save in maintenance costs, as well as save in property tax during the stage of construction compared to the resale context. And last but not least, very importantly, because the loan is being dispersed at progressive stage, it also means at a much lower, as you can see, 45K, much lower interest payment compared to new launch. And just the interest payment alone analysis, for resale, the interest payment is as high as 149K or 3.2 times more than new launch. This is something that is important, that is not so easily seen by buyer who is going to buy resale. So is resale really cheap? After you factor in all this not so obvious cost to the resale. In conclusion, the data case study suggested new launch generated potentially higher return, higher quantum profit. If one principal consideration is accumulate wealth, then naturally new launch may suit the client requirement. If a client needs immediate occupation, then it provided a compelling reason why one would decide to enter a resale, despite the higher additional cost that are not so obvious to the resale buyer. And I hope this new launch or resale case studies in the context of Tampines will give you more insight in deciding whether to enter new launch Parktown. See you in the next session. Bye.